Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Darby. Welcome to the bar. Today's special, the Whiskey Sour. All right, so as you can see, we have an intro now. It's nothing special. It may change, may not. We'll see. That'll come. A couple housekeeping notes real quick. I'm trying out some different stuff with a new microphone. As you can see, I have this cool little thing on my apron. We'll see. Maybe I have to tweak it. This will be a test run. Okay. Anyway, a couple other housekeeping notes. Some things will be changing on and off. I've got new lighting coming soon. That'll be new. The space is, so the reason that I've been playing a lot with the sound is this space, the room that I'm in here in the front of our house, it's an echoey room. So I'm sorry, we just have to work around it. I can't put up a bunch of sound padding and everything because we actually do use this room when I'm not making videos. So anyway, all that to say, I appreciate you guys being here and sticking with me through these changes. I hope you guys like the intro. If you do, let me know. It was something that I kind of threw together. It took me a couple hours to put together and it was super fun to do. So I'm trying to do a little bit more of this editing thing. It's a lot of work. So to all those guys and girls that you see out there that are doing heavily edited videos, man, you guys are rock stars. So yeah, anyway, let's jump into today's cocktail. It's one that I have been nervous to do on camera. Okay, it's one that's a little unusual. We're doing the whiskey sour today. All right, and the thing about a whiskey sour is it uses egg. Okay, and you can do a whiskey sour. All right, I'm gonna ramble here for just a second. Okay. I love whiskey sours, and you can do a whiskey sour in a lot of different ways. You can do it and have a really good whiskey sour without egg, but in my opinion, the only way to do a whiskey sour is by using egg, or an egg alternative. There are a few. You can use aquafaba, which is the juice from garbanzo beans. That is a good egg white alternative. It, in my opinion, though, it does not come out as frothy and meringue-like as using an actual egg white. You can also use an egg, I've done this, and it's fine, but you can use an egg white substitute, and I'm not sure what they are. I found them one day at Publix because I don't like eggs, okay? I don't really eat eggs. But there's only one way to have a whiskey sour, and this is it. So my friends, without further ado, let's jump right in to our whiskey sour. Your ingredients you're gonna need, a few things, really simple. Simple syrup. I'm using my 1-to-1 ratio plain white sugar simple syrup. This is not my Demerara that I usually use with whiskey cocktails. The reason for that is Demerara tends to be a little bit thicker, a little bit more viscous. I'll throw a card in for the Demerara recipe. If you want to use that, it's fine. It really is. And it's very good in this. But for this, I like this because it's nice and light. The thing about a whiskey sour, it takes bourbon and makes it bright. And we'll talk about that more in a second. You're going to need lemon juice. And then you're going to need bourbon. Today, I am using this new bottle of Yellowstone Select 93 proof bourbon. This is a bourbon cocktail. You could do this with a rye, but it's going to be considerably more spicy and more rye-like, okay? I typically I use this, Angel's Envy. I really love how soft and kind of buttery the Angel's Envy is. And it makes a fantastic whiskey sour. It really does. It's so good. But I got this the other day. I sampled it. I made a whiskey sour with it. And let me tell you what, this 93 proof bourbon really holds up really well. It's very bright. It's very vivid. So let's jump right into making this bad boy. It's super simple. You're going to need a shaker. Now, I'm going to be using big chunks of ice. If you don't have big chunks of ice, or if you're using like refrigerator style ice, if you're a home bartender like I am, you can take, if you have a Hawthorne strainer, you can take the little spring off your Hawthorne strainer and drop it right in there. Works perfectly. Works just fine to do it that way. I don't need to do that today because I'm going to be using this big ice, which will get me enough shaking and enough volume. And here's the thing about it, right? You have to shake the bejesus out of a whiskey sour. If you're using egg white, the whole point is to make it frothy. So let's jump right in and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You need something to measure with. I'm doing this out of order just because I know it. Do as I say, not as I do. Cheapest ingredients first, all the way up, okay? But we're gonna go 2 ounces. Playing. I didn't quite get a full 2 ounce pour on that one. A couple of these are starting to give out on me, but a 1/2 ounce of our simple syrup and about 3/4 of an ounce, maybe a shot more, but just a little bit over 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. I made the mistake earlier and pulled out the lime juice, and now I'm all flustered by it, okay? Now, here's the thing. There's a few ways to do this. You can grab one of these. It's a super easy fine mesh strainer. You can crack your egg into this and then kind of sift it through and let your egg white come through. You don't actually need a whole egg white. It's better if you use a whole egg white. You only need about 1/2 ounce of egg white. But I'm just gonna do it the kind of sketchy way and hopefully not drop the yolk straight in there, which I think I'm going to. So this might not actually come out as well as I thought it would. Oh no, there we go, we got it. All right, I know that's really gross, guys. I know it is, believe me. I get it. Eggs are yucky, okay? I get it. But now, if you are unsure of your shaking ability, take your spring off your Hawthorne strainer, drop it in there, okay? I'm not gonna do that, I don't need to. Here's the thing. Seal this up really good, okay? The way these work, your shaking tins work, is they contract when you have ice in it. There's no ice in this. We're gonna dry shake first. You're gonna dry shake hard for 30 seconds, okay? And then we're gonna throw some ice in there and shake it again for another couple of seconds until this froths over real good, and then we're gonna strain it out and enjoy a whiskey sour. So here we go. About 30 seconds of good shaking, and just shake the bejesus out of it. Try not to get it all over yourself. Definitely try not to get it over guests if you have guests in front of you. Just really, go to town. Shake this thing until you can't anymore, okay? Whew. If you didn't do your workout, this is a good way to do your workout. Oh man, but you can feel it in there getting more and more frothy as we go, okay? So it really does, you will notice a difference. It creates kind of this velvety meringue thing when you shake up your egg white, and then you get this, I'm gonna grab my ice cubes. We're gonna open this up, oh yeah. We're gonna go ahead and crack one of these big ice cubes into here. That was a pretty good crack. I think we're just gonna use the one. Try and get that to seal up real good. Give it another little shake around. This doesn't need to be as long. You don't really want to break your egg white too much. Oh, now it's sealed up really good. There it goes. All right. Pour that in there. Oh man, it's already beautiful and frothy. Normally, I would serve this in a rocks glass, but I have one of these I found in the freezer earlier. So we're gonna serve it in one of these awesome coupes. Okay, these things are my absolute favorite glasses I have. I love them. They're beautiful. They're kind of delicate. Oh my goodness. You could serve this over ice. They're great over ice. I like to serve it in a chilled glass. And that's why I was like, oh man, this is perfect. I have this right here. It looks beautiful. Look at that presentation. Now, for our garnish for this, you could use a brandied cherry on a little skewer. I have these really cool little long toothpicks. That would work beautifully. But the traditional, or from what I've researched, what I've found, the traditional is a few drops of Angostura bitter, like 3-4 drops of Angostura bitters right on top. So what I do, I put it in an eyedropper, and I'll put four drops in there. That one's not quite the same size as the others, but oh well. I'm not the most artistic human being in the face of the earth, but it works. Just get a couple little lines through there, and look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Today's special, the whiskey sour. And let me tell you, okay, don't fear the egg. Don't fear the egg. You can't even taste it in here. It's got a beautiful, nutty, earthy. The Angostura bitters, their smell is exactly their taste. It's nutty and earthy and herbal and beautiful. And then you get this Yellowstone. I noticed the other day when I was sampling it, it has kind of like an oaky and then almost like a walnutty thing that comes in at the very end of its evolution. You can smell that clearly in here. It's just, it's beautiful. It's bright. A lot of times it gets in your mustache if you have a mustache because it's frothy. We think so often about bourbon and cognac and rums, especially your dark rums, as these dark, heavy, you know, wintertime, fall, autumn, harvest things, right? You know, you think about whiskey especially, I go immediately to an old fashioned, which is kind of dark and brooding and, you know, smoky lounge filled with grumpy men drinking stiff cocktails. Or just whiskey if you're my brother because you don't like cocktails for whatever reason, I guess. I don't know. You think you're more cultured. I don't know. He's a weirdo. But why can't whiskey be like this? Why can't it be bright and airy? And there's herbal notes, which clearly comes from the smell, right? It comes from that nose, those herbal notes that you get in the back of your throat. And then there's that bold, oaky flavor. I really recommend using something like this that's a higher proof. I've done this with, I have a 100 proof bourbon, whoops, that's phenomenal as a whiskey sour. And then that bright lemon comes through. There's just enough sugar in there that it's not overbearing, but it's bold and vivid and fun. This is a fun cocktail, guys. If you want to try something that's different, that's unique, that riffs on traditional cocktails, I mean, this is a classic. The whiskey sour is a classic. Throw an egg white in there and boy howdy, you just can't get away from how delicious that truly is. I hope you guys give this one a try. It's one of my all-time favorites. I love the whiskey sour. Go out there, give it a try. Don't fear the egg, okay? It doesn't taste eggy. I would be the first one to pour it down the drain if it did. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you don't mind, take just a second, like, share, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube things. If you want to support me monetarily, you can do that over at patreon.com/AaronsHarp. I'll have it linked in the description. I also have a Amazon wish list that's just for in here, just for in the bar. If you guys want to go over there, you can. That's awesome. No obligation to do any of those things. And then, of course, don't drink and drive. Drink responsibly. tip your bartenders, and you guys have a great day. And I hope you enjoy a beautiful cocktail. Take a risk. Try a whiskey sour. You guys have a good one. Cheers. Oh man, it just doesn't get any better than that.